Hello, everyone. I'm Melissa Budzinski, and I'm with Gilda's Club, Grand Rapids. We are a free cancer and grief support community right here in Grand Rapids. If you are new to this Facebook Live or new to hearing about Gilda's Club and are interested in becoming a part of our community, we would love to talk with you and get you connected. You can reach us by phone 453-8300 or on our website, gildasclubgr.org. If you enjoy this conversation we're about to have, or any of the other Facebook Lives that we have in archive, please just like it or share it on your Facebook. Or if you have a question for our presenter, we would love to hear from you. If you resonate with something that he says or we talked about, just make a note and we'll make sure that we get that to him and let him know. So I am here today and so grateful that all of you have joined us in this virtual clubhouse. And I'm with Matthew Kilroy today. He's got lots of letters behind his name: BS, BLS-C, LRT, LWC, AE-C, ACP-C, which is great. He comes with a variety of skills and talents. He was with Spectrum Health, Priority Health, and in the healthcare field, specifically around respiratory health, for 41 years in many different capacities. He's also a musician, very accomplished musician, loves to sing and play. He also, you may have seen him because he was in at least the first art prize as a living statue. I know I saw him. I know that I went to visit you a couple of times while you were doing that. And then he also is a 7th degree master instructor of Tae Kwon Do, which is really cool. And then most importantly, why he's with us today, he is a certified health and wellness coach. He helps people to set goals and to improve their lives. Matt, it is so great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. You can tell that you have lots going on, lots of really great things. And we really appreciate that you have taken the time to be with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we're going to talk today about better than a New Year's resolution. And so I have a question for you. What is a goal? And how do we get started? How do we do this thing?
Well, that is why this is called Better Than a New Year's Resolution, because it is better. Probably like most everybody else in my past, I have set around this time of year a goal. And within 3 weeks, it's gone. And the reason is we all create a goal and have good intentions, but the big question is how to achieve it. And Melissa, I'm very excited to be here today to go over the components of a goal and what it takes to actually achieve it.
That sounds great. All right, maybe we can move on to the next slide here. Let's see what's up.
Okay, before starting, I asked you to put up these quotes because they're very important as a prelude to our discussion, Melissa. And the first one is from a Chinese philosopher: a journey of 1,000 miles begins with only a single step. So that's saying just start, just do something, which is very good. However,
however, you're going to the next slide. There you go. Yeah.
But you darn well better make sure that you're stepping in the right direction. And that's what creates false starts, because you need to know that you're stepping in the right direction.
Yes. And I love this one because it also has you thinking, because my right direction is not your right direction, right?
Exactly.
Everyone has their own specific direction. But
Exactly.
if let's say I want to lose weight, going to the candy bar is probably not the right direction, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's like reverse.
yeah. So you're talking about really supporting yourself. I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we'll get into specific examples in a
Yeah.
little bit. So
Yeah.
that's perfect. And the next thing is very important. Nothing that we see around us that has been created, everything was a thought at one time. But the thing that was done consistently, they needed to eventually put that thought down on paper. And so it's very important once that goal is determined and just starting brainstorming to actually write it down. Often we will say, like, I like to lose some weight. Well, maybe 20 pounds. The first thing to do is write it down. It's critical.
Great.
And then Ben Franklin did this famous quote that I love: if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So basically, there's 4 steps to successfully achieving a goal. First of all is creating and defining that goal, and we'll go over that. The next step is developing a comprehensive process, a plan how to achieve that goal. That's what we're going to spend most of the time in, Melissa. And number
Great.
3 is beginning the journey to achieve that goal. And the last is relapse prevention. So those are the 4 main parts of successfully achieving a goal, broken down very simply.
Great.
So I talked about the first part of setting a goal is defining it. And the problem is, one of the barriers of achieving a goal and why it's gone after 2 weeks into January is the way we write it down. It's not smart. And when I say smart, as you can see from the screen, once you define and look at a goal, state that goal, write it down, ask yourself this question: is that goal specific enough? Is there a way to measure it so I know I'm getting closer to achieving that goal or not? Is there action connected to that goal? Is it realistic? If I'm, for example, trying to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, that's not realistic. Maybe I can lose 20 pounds by May or June. That's realistic. And then what is the timeline? Like I was saying, I like to lose this much weight by May, June, July, August. But a timeline is important. And this is one of the critical steps to start off a goal that is going to be successful.
Yeah. And I think, Matt, this also could be used. I know we're going to use this example, the losing weight, as an example to talk about, but this could be applied to a cancer journey or a grief journey or
Anything.
something, something that, how I want to handle my health from this point on, or anything. Yeah. Cleaning your house, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's thought process about the goal. And we're going to use, can you go back 1 slide, please? We're going to use this as an example to move right along with this process. I want to lose 20 pounds by May 1st, 2020. Okay, so we're going to get into some powerful questions, but let's go back to that goal. I want to lose 20 pounds by May. Actually, it would be 2021. Okay, is it specific? Yeah, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay. Is it measurable? Well, we have scales to determine where we're at, right, as we're going through that journey. Is it action oriented? Yes, some sort of action will need to take place to accomplish that. Is it realistic? Well, since it's in May, I think I could do that. May gives me 3 months to do that. Is it timely? Yes, I'm 64 years old. I really need to start losing weight, so once you determine it's smart, then you get into asking yourself powerful questions. And this is a psychology that many skip when they begin goals. So it's asking yourself these powerful questions that we'll be going over in a little bit. So the first question you have to ask yourself, why is this goal important to me? I know that might sound crazy, but you really want to ask yourself, why is it important? And it's important to everybody differently. So, and these are just examples. It doesn't have to fit you, but it's just examples. My clothes will fit better. I'll be more healthy. I'll have more energy during the day to play, like in my case, with grandkids, things like that. So just starting, so what would be different and why, and what happiness will this bring to my life if I begin it?
Yeah, I love that you're asking not only about look, but about feel, about emotional, about how my life will play out in that the intellectual, just the whole package, not just about what will look different.
Yeah, and you're emotionally committing to that goal, which is key.
Yeah,
Because in other words, you're embracing that goal in your heart, and that gives you the motivation to complete it.
yeah, great.
So the other thing you want to do that's important is there's always going to be obstacles. Okay. Now, for example, if you want to quit smoking, I'm going to quit. So you decide to quit January 1st, and then you start, I'm getting that urge. And then you take a cigarette. Why? Because you didn't proactively set a plan when that urge comes up. So it's very important to look at what might get in the way. Okay. And we're going to stick now with the diet of losing 20 pounds by May. You might love fatty foods. Okay. How am I going to remove that barrier? You snack at night. You love those Oreo cookies at night with milk. And lack of knowledge in good nutrition. I don't know what's fat and what's not fat.
I love that there's this piece of acceptance in that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, it's okay to love fatty foods. That's okay, and that being honest with yourself and open and helps you to look at how you want to manage that piece.
Right. And this goes back to the second of the four main steps of creating comprehensive plan to achieve the goal. And that's what we're doing right now, Melissa. So you have these barriers. So going back to the smoking, well, let's stick with the diet and losing 20 pounds. So if you have a plan in place to counter, or a solution to counter when those things happen, you're set to go. And you want to do that before you even start the journey towards a goal. Find a replacement for fatty foods, those things I have listed here. Remove the snacks from the house. Learning more about good nutrition, just really basic. So now you have those in place before you even start the journey to accomplish that goal.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, this is also key. Who can you recruit as your cheerleaders or to keep you on track? Your spouse, son, daughter, friend, Gilda's Club. And Melissa, do you have anything to say about how Gilda's Club could help?
Yeah, this is really, really important, especially if you're setting a goal of looking, you have a cancer diagnosis and you have a goal of wanting to organize how how this moves forward, your treatment, how people give you support, all of that kind of stuff. So what you're really talking about in this slide is emotional support.
Mhm.
And emotional support equals emotional health. And we all need emotional support for everything that we do. You know,
Mhm.
we need more in some cases and less in others, right? And so Gilda's Club gets this. This is our primary mission, that we believe this is that this is a we program. This is a we community, that we do things together. We walk with one another. We support one another, and in a specific way. We're not like asking people to do what I do to change their lives or manage what's going on in their life, but we honor how they're choosing to manage the grief or their cancer journey and supporting that. And then sharing our own, experience, strength, and hope, but not making any judgments on other people, having a safe, open place where people can come and say, this is what I need, and giving that to them. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
And, sharing that information that was provided by Gilda's Club with your spouse, your son, daughter, and friends, so they can also keep you on track. And going back to our original example of losing 20 pounds by May, thinking of your spouse, just who would believe in you and can be your cheerleader and your go-to person that will help you achieve the goal. And it doesn't have to be limited to the people listed here.
Mhm.
It's completely up to you.
And you certainly would want to pick someone who, like in my case, if I asked my husband, I might get mad at him if he's policing me all the time and telling me what to do. So I might choose somebody else to be my support for that, where I'm more open to that kind of a thing. And that's also a very important question to ask yourself, especially when you have a diagnosis, a cancer diagnosis. Who do you want to be your medical advocate? Who do you feel like listens to you, would follow through with what you want to have done, will support your choices in that? So it's a very, very important question.
I totally agree, Melissa. Let's dig a little deeper into why that is important. Okay, your support person, your cheerleaders, we often expect them to know how to best support us. And when they try to support us, it ends up going backwards, not supporting us at all. So it's important to let them know specifically how would you like them to support you? And, just a few examples. So your spouse, you ask them to help you lose weight. Well, if I come out with 5 Oreo cookies with a glass of milk at 9 o'clock at night before a TV show comes on, and my wife says, "What are you doing? I thought you're trying to lose weight, blah, blah, blah." That's not going to help me out. And that's actually what happens. And so better way to do it is say, honey, here's how I would like you to let me know. So if you see me doing anything that takes me away from my goal, just look at me and say, will that bring you closer or further from achieving the goal that you told me about? And then leave it at that. Just leave it at that. Now, I'm going to hear that and just think, and probably maybe eat just one cookie and then put the rest away. But that goes off a lot better than someone nagging on you when you ask them to help you achieve a goal. And I have other examples here that you can look at, and all of this will be on Gilda's website. So even if you're not taking notes, you can always go to the website on their Facebook page and pull these out.
That's great.
Now, this is why it's important for that cheerleader. Another job of theirs is to help you stay on track and alert you when you get off track. They need permission to do this, okay? They need permission no matter what to let you know when you're deviating from the path to your goal. And that's another issue. And that's why often they don't say anything. So you need to let them know, give them permission. And as far as doing that, they can do it many ways. And reminders in the kitchen. You can create icons, and I have icons, matter of fact, around my office and my kitchen to remind me, because I'm trying to lose my gut right now. And it's just important for you to have them help you stay on track. You might have them call you at a certain time every Monday to say, just how's it going? As simple as that. So, but the key is here, the point I'm trying to make, they need permission and set up that plan of when they and how they are going to keep you on track.
That's great.
So you have this plan, you thought about it, you wrote up, I want to lose 20 pounds by May 2021. So you put it away and that's it. You're done. No, you're not. So what are some of the action steps you can get on right away? Okay. It doesn't have to be anything great. I listed a bunch that you can read. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you need a baseline. You need to weigh yourself right away to determine how much weight you are losing each week. Okay. And to accomplish that goal. So you need that baseline. And again, that's the M in SMART, to be able to measure it. If you can't measure it, you cannot determine if you're moving towards or away from your goal. You can go online, investigate food. You remove the fatty snacks from your house. There's multiple things you can do. Write your plan down. Mm-hmm. So again, this will be on the face page for Gilda's Club if you want to refer back to it.
Yeah, I love this one too, because it's about being in the moment. It's about checking in where you are right now. And then moving, and then, looking forward to that goal. I love that.
And then what's important is, so you have this plan, you've written out general. So creating stepping stones weekly, monthly, and then 3 months when you should achieve that goal. So now you're creating specific action. SMA, A stands for action. You're creating specific action steps to achieve that goal. 1 week, 1 month, and 3 months. So during the week, again, I'm not going to read all of these, and this is just an example. This is something someone might do. So I'm going to weigh myself every week, Friday morning, just after I get up. Do you notice that even that weekly goal is SMART? It's specific. What are you going to do? Measurable, action-oriented. Okay, I will develop a list of healthy snacks and choose 2 to 3 to place on my weekly grocery list. Again, these are all weekly goals. I will begin walking with my son every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. for 20 minutes at Riverside Park. So I'm starting just real slow. And notice, for example, the one I'm walking with my son, I've been wanting to establish a closer relationship with my son for years. And so this is one of the reasons why I'm going to do that weekly goal, because I want to do that for my son. So again, as Melissa talked about, it's an emotional component. It's a heart component reason why I want to do these things, so I can eventually accomplish that goal of losing 20 pounds by May.
So it's almost like you have 2 goals and you kind of mesh them together, and they can move in and out of each other. They don't have to be independent of each other.
Right. If you can create stepping stone goals And that's the key. So you stay on track, stepping stone goals that will help you achieve your ultimate goal, but at the same time, be very meaningful to you.
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's the powerful questions from the powerful questions that we went over earlier.
Yeah.
Some monthly goals. So, and again, you want to keep measuring where you're at and set a time to measure. So I am going to lose 5 to 8 pounds every month. And maybe the last Friday of the month, I'm going to weigh myself. So that's my goal. That will get me there. So I'm going to reduce the quantity of my snacks down to 1 rice cake after 7 p.m. That's it. And then increase my walks. So I'm starting to increase my walks after a month to 30 minutes with my son. So I'm doing these stepping stones once I start feeling that I can do this. And one of the things I didn't mention, all this should be done after you have consulted your physician. And matter of fact, what I didn't mention is a good time to have physicals is in January or before you start a significant goal. So you get the approval from your physician, because he or she may also have some comments or advice for you as you begin this journey.
Great.
Then finally, 3 months goal. By the end of 3 months, I will have lost 20 pounds. You either have or you didn't. And then you have totally eliminated snacks. You're walking with your son 3 days a week. You're closer to him. You celebrate once you achieve the goal. Go out to the Bonefish Grill, have a great, healthy seafood dinner. And it's just important to have this celebration that you've accomplished this, best when you have it along with your support group or your cheerleaders.
Great.
So you've enjoyed the journey of this goal, getting there, and the process. Because if you don't enjoy the process, it's just going to be a boring job. And the last thing that is important that I failed to give to Melissa is what I called the 4th step is relapse prevention. So you're down to 20 pounds. How are you going to stay there? And that comes down to, again, with your cheerleaders and setting up specific ways of doing that. And if you kept up on the 3 months goals where you were at, you can actually increase those a little bit or just stay there. And chances are that is going to keep you there. But the key is to come up with a plan so there is no relapse once you accomplish that goal.
Yeah. And I think too, one of the relapse plans could be to set the next goal, right?
Yep.
And that would be to
Definitely.
maintain or to continue on or to evaluate where I'm at and is this working for me? And so that can be even just built right in,
Yeah.
so that you have this opportunity to do that.
You have more energy now. You're walking. Your relationship is better with your son. You can maybe join a club with your son now. And
Right.
that's going to maintain that and keep that going. You have more energy, so you might want to join a martial art class or something like that. I don't know, my class. So yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Well, thank you so much, Matt. This is so important and I think can really be applied. Of course, it's timely because here we are approaching New Year's Eve, but that it can happen anytime. You don't have to do it on New Year's Eve. You can do it at any time. You can do it around any kind of thing that is happening in your life. Like I said, a cancer diagnosis or even a lot of times when people have had someone that died in their life and they're having to manage their estate or figure things out, you could make a short-term goal for how am I going to manage this just this week and then just next week. And then, review that. And the more you do it, I'm assuming the more it becomes a habit, the more it becomes supportive of you and a tool that you can use. And there are going to be times where we don't meet our goal, where we don't quite reach our goal.
Or you
And
have to adjust it during the process.
yeah, oh, good. Yeah.
And
So
never
having
give up.
some grace for yourself also, right?
Yeah.
And that's where those cheerleaders, that's where a support group, that's where the really comes in handy, where you can have this support and this conversation back and forth about how to support yourself in a way that is going to be successful for you.
Exactly. And, just if we went over a lot and we could go on for hours on this, and there's a lot more to it, but as long as one remembers that the 4 components or steps to achieve a successful goal is setting and defining the goal using that SMART process. Again, you can find a more detailed description of that process on Gilda's face page, and then develop that comprehensive process to achieve that goal successfully by writing it down, and then begin the journey. Enjoy the journey. Don't get down on yourself. You're trying, just keep going, and then come up with some way. Okay, how am I going to prevent relapsing? I feel so great now. What can I do? Well, maybe that I have more energy, I can do this or that. All those important, but eventually, like Melissa said, it gets easier the more you do it. Matter of fact, you could do it in your head, and I've been doing this for so long, it's right there. Okay, this is my goal. This is what I need to do, A, B, C, D, to achieve it. Okay, who's going to be my cheerleader? Okay, how am I going to keep from going back to my old ways? So it comes, but again, it's the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Well, thank you so much for bringing all this information. And as Matt said, if you're interested in learning more about those SMART goals, we have posted here a link to our the YouTube channel where we have a recording of Linda Keel talking about how to manage your items in your house, and she uses SMART goals for that. And it really was a great conversation, and she has a diagram also. So, and I love the questions. I think it's important to continue to ask ourselves questions. And what an awesome opportunity, Matt, to get to know yourself better, to learn more about what you need, what you like, what is support to you and what isn't support, and then to learn how to communicate that with other people in your life. And so it just invites this deepening of conversation, deepening of relationship, and acceptance of yourself. And it's such important work that we all could do. So
It's
yes,
internalizing
yes,
what you want to accomplish, and why is it important to you? It needs to be important to you, not your doctor if he tells you you need to lose 20. No, it needs to be important to you, and in some way transform your life in a positive manner.
yeah. And I love adding in there joy. So
Mhm.
adding in their moments of celebration, adding in their places of joy, experiences of joy, which often in support groups, people often ask us at Gilda's Club when they're taking a tour and they hear laughter coming out of the rooms. And they said, I thought this was, a grief support group. But what happens is when people really share their hearts with one another, share their goals with one another, share their struggles with one another, that there comes this eruption of joy of
Mhm.
that connection and this grounding in that. And it's just such a beautiful thing to watch. So again, thank you so much for sharing this
You're
with us
very
and
welcome. Thanks
spending
for
time
having
with
me.
us today. And one way to support yourself is by finding someone like Matt if you need, and some of us do need help with that kind of more structured, and someone who is used to doing this, a wellness coach, a health coach, but someone like Matt to help you to reach your goals. So
Yeah,
thank
and if you're interested for any hiring a health and wellness coach, you can go online and just Google in health and wellness coaches, and you'll find a lot of them out there, and their profiles, and someone who fits, who will fit your needs.
Yeah.
And that's important too, to pick the appropriate coach that specifically can work with you and that you would enjoy working with them.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. And so everyone, thank you so much for joining us on this Facebook Live event. If you are new to Gilda's Club again and you'd like to get connected with our free cancer and grief support community, please give us a call at 453-8300 or look on our website and send us an email at gildasclubgr.org. We're so grateful that we can come together in this way and stay connected, stay communicating while everyone is staying safe at home or wherever you are. We wish for you all wonderful things, healing and love in the new year. We look forward to seeing you when we're all able to get back together. Again, remember you can access Linda Keel's presentation on the SMART goals right in this, either from our website or right in this post, or the information for Matt. Otherwise, we hope you're well. Take care and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.